We already began, so we're just going to go into it. So yeah, my name is Michael. I'll do a little introduction. Michael Wilson. I run the company Harmony Acres. I've been working with mushrooms for about a decade and foraging wild, growing vegetables for a long time, but kind of transitioned more into foraging mushrooms and making medicine back in 2016. And then in 2021, I discovered that you can microdose Amanita muscaria, and that became my entire life's purpose for a long time. And now I'm starting to get more into like other things because I feel like the continuing relationship I have with Amanita feels like at this point it's just really maintaining like a lot of the benefits from microdosing. And I don't really do deep dives with it anymore because I feel like I got the phone call and hung up the phone. I got the call, and so now I'm working on things like big Lyme disease protocol because I have Lyme disease, and I always just like focus on what I'm passionate about, and I think that that's really important, and it's something I like to talk about with people I do business consultations with. Because, and I like loosely call my like consulting like heart path coaching, because my entire life has been following my heart, and it's been a very strange meandering trail. But where I'm at now is I have a thriving business. I have a beautiful family with 2 children and a log cabin on 16 acres with a creek in the back. And like, I have to like pinch myself every day. And it's because I went through all the trials of what happens when you follow your heart is you start to go into your shadow work, because the heart wants you to witness all of that beauty and not keep it ashamed and pressed down and suppressed, but to bring light to it. And that's why it's not just about doing business, it's about doing inner development. And so I just do whatever I love to whatever degree it takes me, and to whatever strange, unbeaten path it is, and forge my own way. And I've gone through beautiful highs and beautiful lows, and all of it has been kind of culminating. And I feel like now I'm at a point where I have like a really good stability. And so I want to share my story of how I've had to navigate these hardships, mostly because I want other people that are in similar walks of life to not have to deal with the crap that I had to deal with, or waste time and waste money, waste resources. I want to help other people get a competitive edge against the big pharma, the big everythings, because as far as I see it, everybody's unique, but I try to live in a way of non-competition where we're actually working together. We're all on the same team. And like, ultimately all of humanity is, right? We are one organism, but we have different walks of life and different views. And some people are all pharmaceuticals and all mainstream and all material reductionist. But I think that if we can actually get more of the plant healers and the medicine workers to have thriving businesses and to do well online in an ever-evolving, strange economy, and everything on social media now is like dictated by AI, and it's like incredibly ruthless, and there's no human element anymore in that kind of space. So I just to get into my background a little bit, I started selling mushroom tinctures on Etsy, and I was doing fine, and it was like a side gig. And then I started working with Amanita muscaria, making microdose tinctures after I had my profound awakening with it. And hey, Marin, come take a seat or wherever, yeah. And it was funny because I was selling these Amanita tinctures on Etsy, which you're not allowed to, but I didn't know that. I didn't read the terms of service. And So I'd like put 10 tinctures on and it would like sell out in like 5 minutes. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And I'd like put all the money back in and I was like, all right, 20 tinctures. Oh, it sold out immediately. All right, 50 tinctures. Oh, it sold out immediately. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not going to be doing anything else but this now. Because it was like, I felt so passionate about wanting to share Amanita because I had quit my negative relationship with cannabis, which was plaguing me for 16 years. I had better sleep. I had no social anxiety anymore. And I was starting to really look at the things that I was hiding from in myself. And that started this huge awakening process that also, because it was all related with my business, allowed me to fully focus on my business and thrive and make more money than I've ever made and put all that money back into the medicine and back into helping people. And then starting to do talks and things like that at Mycofest and other mushroom festivals. So after a month of selling on Etsy, where it's like you typed in the word mushroom or Amanita and I was like the top left, I broke their algorithm. They didn't catch me for like a month, and we were getting like 15 sales a day. It was nuts. And I had to tell my landscaping clients, like, I can't rake your leaves anymore. You know, I'm doing my own thing now. And and then after a month, they shut me down. They're like, you can't sell Amanita. And they're like, if you don't take it down, like, you know, we're gonna ban your account. So, and it was like 700 sales in a month. And I was just like, well, this is like a freight train that's moving now. Like, I just got derailed. Like, I gotta hop on a new track. And so I took it off Etsy, but I made another website with GoDaddy, and PayPal was the payment processor. And I was like, all right, we're good, you know. And I'm advertising on Instagram too, back whenever Instagram ads actually worked. And I would put in a certain amount of money and like it would 10x the sales. So I'd put in like $500 and it would get 5,000 in sales, like every time. And it was only limited by my volume of production. And so after a while, PayPal was like, you can't sell Amanita. And I was like, damn. So I took it down, but then I put it back up and this is when it was just a tincture bottle with a picture of an Amanita mushroom. And so the listing was a picture of a mushroom on a bottle that just so happens to contain some liquid. Like that was the listing title. So people would like leave comments like, I love this picture, it helps me sleep, I look at it every day. Like all my like I was getting this great client base, and they're along the journey. And you know, there's a book, you know, if you're interested in like business and branding and stuff, there's a book called 1,000 True Fans. And like, you don't need to appeal to everybody, right? You just need 1,000 true fans, and like, just do whatever you fucking love. And people see that passion and they like, it oozes out of you and they get excited. When you talk about something that you love, it just like pours out of you, because that's really like the life-giving matrix coming out of you, and somebody recognizes that on this subconscious level and they're like, ooh, we can actually do that. Like, I forgot about this, right? But you're helping me remember now. And we all have our own unique thing. So the people would, you know, buy this, and then eventually I had to start a WordPress website, and I went down this really long, annoying path of finding what is called a high-risk merchant payment processor. So a little nerdy context about payment processors like PayPal, all the PayPal accounts are actually one bank account, and it's just, we have different access points. And that's why they have such strict rules on what you can sell and what you can't, because if MasterCard and Visa, who are like the big handlers of the money, see that PayPal, one small PayPal account is selling something illegal or unregulated, then they'll shut all of PayPal down. So that's why they're so strict. And it's like, it's not even like we think about like, oh, who's the bad guy, right? It's not PayPal. They're just following suit, right? They're following the orders of the paradigm, right? The greater well, the hard thing is that you can't point your finger at any one person or any one organization, because it's literally colonialism. Like, this is colonialism that has become now into the digital age. And we're seeing, like, you can't sell mushroom products. Why? Oh, because mushrooms are psychedelic. No, we're talking about lion's mane. No, it's just, we can't touch mushrooms. Like, we can't go there. And it's because we don't have a cultural understanding of mycology, of mushrooms. We're not supportive in that way. And so we just, as a safety precaution to hedge their, protection from liability, they just say, like, no mushrooms. Now, there's a lot of things now, like, there's a lot of mushroom accounts that are doing all right. There's a lot of people that are thriving, like William Padilla Brown, he's doing great. But he's also struggled with censorship. So, like, we've seen things where people are posting about cordyceps or lion's mane, and then it gets shut down. And it's like, oh, it's because it's a mushroom. And that doesn't really make any sense, because it's not psychedelic, but it's not illegal. But, there's also this concept of shadow banning. Is everybody familiar with shadow banning? So shadow banning is when you are not banned outright, but all your views go down. And it's like dramatic. And so, like, it's a sneaky way of Instagram keeping you, or whatever social media, keeping you engaging, but you're not getting the same reward. And so what do? You want to post better content, right? And, like, it's this, like, never ending loop. And it's so sneaky and divisive. Another thing they'll do, which is happening to me, I'm meta verified for whatever, I'm trying to see if that has any value at all. I pay $20 a month, but I also am not able to be suggested to new followers. So, like, I have like 11,000 followers, but the only people that actually will follow me, it's like, I don't pop up in anybody's algorithm. It's only through, like, if somebody shares a story or, like, is tagged and somebody else sees it that way. But because I talk about psychedelics, I talk about Amanita, but I haven't been outright banned. And I think, like we were saying, there's this double-edged sword, or this dual standard. And I think because I did put a lot of money into advertising through Meta, I've given them thousands of dollars. And I think they probably don't want to, like, completely outright ban me, because they might get some money out of me. But I've seen other accounts. So a good example is, everybody familiar with Jacob DeVecchio, Oklahoma Mushroom Festival? So Oklahoma Mushroom Festival was, other than Telluride, probably one of the biggest mushroom festivals in North America. And he got his account shut down. And I don't think he was talking about psychedelics. I think he's actually really, really strict about what he posts. And he had, I think, hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of followers. And because he got his Instagram account shut down, he canceled his event, in-person event, because he couldn't advertise. So it's not just you're not able to access social media, it's actually affecting real life businesses. And think about all the lost connections that happened because that event didn't happen. Think about all the amazing times you had this weekend, and that timeline doesn't exist anymore because Meta's stupid AI algorithm was like, oh, mushrooms, no, we're done, we're not doing that. So it's really messed up. And there's a lot of different solutions, and I think all of them need to be applied simultaneously. Because the divisive actions of censorship and shutting us down, those are also being applied simultaneously. And I think real world events, in-person events, focusing on that and finding decentralized ways of connecting with people, right? So there's all these other, we have Telegram, Signal, Messenger, WhatsApp, Google Invites, Discord, yeah, Reddit, all these amazing, like, weird little back alley parts of the internet, right? And the internet's great because everybody can have a voice, but not everybody is heard, because now everybody has a voice. So then you have to think about, like, you know, when I go on the internet, what do I want to, you know, spend my time doing? What do I do? Unfortunately, I go on Facebook and Instagram mostly. I still do. And I want to break out of this habit. So I've been going on Reddit more, Discord, Signal. I have my own little Signal groups and Patreon. I have a Patreon and everything. So I think a lot of it is finding decentralized platforms. And I think another thing is actually having more in-person events. And I could go down a conspiratorial rabbit hole about COVID-19 and the, you know, no social gathering, no 6-foot distance, you know, you can't go on the beaches and get vitamin D that cures COVID. I can't say cure. I'm going to get shut down because I'm going to put this on YouTube and the AI is going to transcript my entire speech and probably shadow ban me. But I'm here saying it to you guys, and you know, yeah, you all know. So I think that having more in-person events is like a big middle finger to the status quo, because if we're all in our own individual cells, right, and that's the whole problem with Western ideology of the nuclear family, where you break up the family unit, you break up the connection between the mother and the father by giving instant access to all sorts of horrible things that plague our minds and separate us. And you know, you have Instacart and whatever, you know, Uber and Tinder and all these things where we can get everything at the touch of the finger, but we're lonelier than ever. We're more connected, but we're lonelier than ever. And so I want to hear from you guys too. I know, what is your name? Ruthie has a story to share about her experience, so please share.
Thank you so much for having this space.
Yeah.
It is so rare for me to find spaces where people are talking about this.
Yeah.
And I'm really
Do you mind if I give you this mic?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, my
you can
voice
hold
is
it
a
or
little
flip
bit.
it. It's for the recording.
Cool. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really grateful that you're talking about this and bringing this forward, because my story is, I'm a registered nurse in the emergency department for 15 years, and in 2020, I was online called The Truth Nurse, sharing about what I was experiencing in the ER, and it was very different from what everyone was seeing from their screens, from TV, from your phone, and I didn't get any warning. It just woke up one day and I couldn't log in. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Kept trying to log in. And then I realized, like, I wasn't getting this account back. It was my account for 11 years. And yeah, I call myself the Truth Nurse because I just want to get to the truth. I love being wrong because I'm a scientist. I just want to nail down the truth. It's not about me having the answers. So I was doing business online, and I was selling these water machines, distributing them and helping people start their own entrepreneurial business, especially for women, especially for people like me. And it's all because of this. Like, I need that peace of mind that if shit were to hit the fan again with my job, I've been denied jobs, I got uninvited to Christmas, I, somehow dodged. I'm a travel nurse, so I work in I'm able to like move around where I work, and if I'm not accepting certain procedures, like they'll deny me. So it was like this little dance I keep doing with work. So being able to support myself financially through sharing online is like my backup plan, if heavens forbid something were to happen again. I'm not trying to forecast that, but yeah, it's really important, I think, to know how to share our medicine, because I'll have people say to me, oh, then just don't talk about that. And I'm like, this is why I'm on the planet. Like, I didn't come here just to like eat food and hang out on the weekends. Like, I'm here for this. If I don't share this, then there's no other point for me. So yeah, thanks for bringing this forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it felt kind of like a wink from God, because after that account got shut down that I had since I was 20, so I was like early 30s when this happened, a woman found me on my new account. She was like, are you still selling those water machines? And I like hadn't met this person for years, and like made like over $1,000 in sales just from that one person who remembered me. So I felt like God was like, you know what, it's going to be all right. I got you. Your energy does not lie. The algorithm will do its thing. You know, the internet's the internet. But if you, at least I believe, if you stand firm in your heart, in your intention, you know, everything's going to work out. And even through the challenges, when we have each other, we can make it through. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you about things working out in the midst of like, oh no, this just happened, right? This terrible thing. But I was doing very well with my business against all odds. Like, there's some other weird little things that happen. Is anybody familiar with DKIM, DMARC, SPF, things for email, like domains and emails? So this is like nothing I want to learn, right? I like to go outside and look for mushrooms. I don't give a shit about domains and emails. Oh, we gotta wait for Billy Bob to pass. So like, whenever you buy something online, you get an email that says, hey, you bought this, thanks. And then you get another email that says, hey, it's being shipped, thanks. Well, all my emails weren't going out. So like, and this is going on for like years. And people are like, he's great products, but like his website's fucked up. And like, you can't, another thing that happens with domains and emails, if it's the same domain, is they get shared. And then like my website, I had 2 brands too, and I just recently consolidated everything. My other brand was All Things Amanita, and like 50% of the people that were trying to log onto my website couldn't get on it. And they would have to like PayPal me or Venmo me some, you know, sneaky way. And the reason why is because all these internet service providers, which there's like thousands of them, right? You got Comcast, Windstream, you know, Verizon, all these individual ISPs block. You have a reputation whenever you have a website, and if your reputation is not good, you get blocked as malicious content. So I had to literally like email like probably 30, 40, 50 different internet providers and tell them like, I'm the domain owner, I'm not a malicious website, I'm a good business, and they put me on a whitelist. But like, it literally, I would have people like, yeah, you can't access his website, he doesn't even email you tracking information, but it always gets there and it's always good. And like, against all odds, I was thriving. And like, I was like, man, if I'm doing this good, how good could I do if I actually like had my shit together? So like this year I'm doing better than ever, and I have like everything consolidated, and it's all, so there's ways for you to fix the SPF and the DKIM shit, and you have to go in through your domain name server and like add codes. And honestly, I don't use AI for a lot of things, but I use it for certain business things. And like, I don't care about that kind of techie shit. And I think the environmental impact of having a short conversation with AI is like very low. It's not like you're making some dumb video that's like going to be a meme for people to laugh at. But like that kind of stuff I use AI for because it gets it right. And I use Claude for coding stuff. But that's allowed me to actually have a respectful business. But that was just, I wanted to bounce back off of what you were sharing, because it just reminded me that whenever you really do follow your path, I believe things work out. And if they're not working out, it's not over yet. Because sometimes you feel like you're going through a dark tunnel, but there's always an end to it. And it's always a good time afterwards. So, anybody else want to...
I just had a question about what you said about using Claude for coding.
Yeah.
And I think that would be great. I'm wondering, in the topic of like witch hunt, if everything that we search in AI is like trackable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, everything is. And you know what's funny? Pete Hegseth from the Pentagon like disclosed like super like unclassified or classified documents to AI to like just help him. And he's like, dude, you literally just put that in the fucking AI cloud space, you dumbass. Like don't give AI your passwords, you know, don't give it like personal information unless you don't care. I'm all out there, so I don't really care about a lot of things. But yeah, like classified documents from the Pentagon, like really, dude. Or maybe it was the weird guy like who looks like this all the time from the FBI. He always looks like he's scared, like he just saw a ghost. What's his name? Patel. Yeah. Kesh Patel. Yeah, he's like. Anyway, yeah. That's the one thing. It's like it feels weird using AI too because you're like kind of feeding the beast a little bit. But it's also like I feel like I don't really know the extent, but I feel like everything can be a tool, but it's a real slippery slope with AI, and we don't even know where it's going. I mean, the data centers alone is enough to be like, why are we even doing that? I just heard recently that there's not even enough energy to use the data center, all the proposed data centers they're putting bids out for like using energy from the power grids where they like bid electricity and they have to like promise a certain amount of electricity to deliver. We don't even have enough electricity. Yeah. It's really weird too because a lot of times when you go to city council and you propose something and it gets shut down, you can't bring it up again. But these data centers are able to do that. So like the whole
Not just the energy, they're polluting the water and they're doing noise pollution, so people who have sensitivity won't be able to live within like 100 miles.
Yeah.
And they're not even recording all the other things that data centers are doing. It's really terrifying.
It is.
It's very big brother.
Yep. Yeah. There's like I know in the last like 4 months there's been like 5 proposed data centers within 40 minutes of me. Because I live out in the woods, like I'm out in a rural area, and a lot of them have been shut down. A lot of them have been delayed. Like the city, it's like little small boroughs. They're like, we don't know what to do about like you needing this much water. We've never had that question, so we're gonna delay this by like 6 months. So you can't even propose it again. Go ahead.
The mayor should call out to all of us. And when there are 10,000 people showing up in a small community, you can't ignore it.
Yeah.
Call everybody and get them out there.
Yep.
My small town that I came from, my dad is a township supervisor, and they are planning to put a data center in next door, like on the farm property next to his property. And from what he's telling me, there's like the entire community did not want it. They showed up to all the meetings and were yelling at all of the board.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but like it ended up not working out. My dad was trying to, he's like, I can't stop it because they're doing it lawfully and they have so much money that nobody else can afford to buy this property. So the best he can do is make an ordinance to try to like limit the damage that they can do, but everybody voted it down because they don't want a data center at all.
Right.
So now the data center is still gonna get built, but with no restrictions.
Oh no.
Alternatively, they could have made an ordinance that the data center could not comply with, and I think some people have tried that. But in that case, then the data center, again, has so much money that they take the small township to court, and they sue the fuck out of them, and then they end up building the data center anyway the way that they want to. They lie about what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Right. So then you like start to get into the question of like, do I need to do some crazy shit?
No, I'm trying to figure out how to stop it, and I think we just need
This
to
is
leave
exactly
it.
what I
Like,
was
I can't
thinking.
find
You're
another
recording
way.
now, I don't want to say.
We're not gonna, I mean, I'm recording, but I could cut stuff out, but also I'm not implicating any of us, but I'm just saying there's a lot of copper at a data center, and also flock cameras. Flock cameras have a lot of copper, and battery operated Sawzalls with a Diablo blade. They're pretty cheap, but I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying.
Isn't it a land issue? Because they're just capable of building these data centers on, private land? Because I know the first public land data center just got accepted somewhere out in the Midwest.
Oh,
So
wow.
all the other ones are on private land. So the government has been secretly, buying up land, these corporations buying up land for the past 20 years.
Preparing.
And so many
yeah.
people knew about it. I've lived in these like rural little commune community type things, and that's existed, for the past 7 years where I've been like a conscious human. And
Yeah.
And so we kind of like let it happen.
But like, it's so hard to take responsibility. And I mean, it's like we let it happen, but the problem is like we all want, like everybody here wants to just live in peace, right? And I was just having this conversation last night at Anthony's, and everybody familiar with J.R. Tolkien? I think it's the second or third book, The Lord of the Rings. So like you have this concept of the Shire, right? The Shire is this like where the hobbits live. It's this peaceful, beautiful place. Everybody's, eating potatoes and drinking beer, and they're having a good time. And then you have the main character is like, he has to like go on this fucking horrible journey that's basically ensures that he is going to die, to stop the evil of man by delivering this ring to just be destroyed in the fires of Mordor. And everybody always says like, why didn't he just stay in the Shire and just fuck off? But in the books, and there's a little glimmer of it in the movie, but it almost looks like when Galadriel is like in the well of, and she's like, things yet to come, right? The Wyrd and Wyrd. But like in the books, that actually happened. They ransacked the Shire. So we can't live in La La Land. We can't live in the Shire because, and I saw this, oh man, I was on Instagram and I saw this great quote on a reel, and it was like, literally, climate change is years of you watching something on the phone until it's at your front door. And the trees are on fire and the water's impure. And I don't know what to fucking do because I want to live in the Shire, but like we're also bombarded by knowing too much. Knowing global news causes us stress because then we feel disenfranchised and we feel like I can't do anything about this. I can't do anything about what's going on in Gaza. I can't do anything about Iran and Israel or Africa. But what are we supposed to do? And I really think that there's an element of it that infuriates you, and you see like Donald Trump using AI to create rage bait, and you're like, I want to be mad about this and do something about this and whatever. But there's also distracting you from your inner intelligence, your inner wisdom, from your heart and your path, right? Because that throws you off and it gets you into this fight or flight, and it gets you into the small mind. It gets you back into this death matrix that they want us to be in. But then how do we navigate both worlds? I don't have the answer. I want to hear from anybody, but I think that, and I don't think there is one right answer. It's like the perennial problem. Right.
We're doing it right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you said in-person gatherings, and it's like, if something like a data center is coming up and these communities, single communities can't fight it, one of the best chances we have is to really blow it up. When something gets in front of someone's feed, like, that has an impact to health, and so it's like, they can't shadow ban all of us because each of us have our own little network. They can't completely cut you off from that. And
Right.
if everyone here, like, there was a data center going up in your town, and you like actually connected with every person that you met here, like they can't squash it completely.
The connection itself is worthwhile.
Yes.
We sometimes are so oriented into the outcome that we forget the action. And that's what builds community. The action's way more, to me, is way more.
Yep. No, 100%. It's the journey, right?
Hero's journey.
Yep. Absolutely. Yes, Frodo. We're all all of us have a Frodo inside of us, but we also have the guy who didn't throw the ring in the fire, right? Because it's all of us. Isildur. Yeah, Isildur. Yeah, he literally could have just fucking thrown it in the fire, dude. No, I want to keep this, and it's right. And we all have a little Gollum inside of us too, because it's the human story, right? And the more we go, oh, it's not me, it's them. That's division, right? So that's separation. That keeps us separate. That keeps us small. That keeps us down. But the more we come together, the more we realize that like we have strength in numbers. I mean, it wouldn't even take a critical mass of all of us to make differences, but we need to stay organized. And then you have the CIA that tries to thwart every revolution. So like there's just like, I don't know, I'm posing the problems, and we're finding solutions too. But this is an ever evolving conversation. And to me, this is just like, man, when I started to feel this intense need to talk about this subject last year, it was just like, I don't need any notes. I don't need a presentation. We're just going to like actually have a round table discussion. And I did it at Alabama Mushroom Festival, which was really great last year. And I wanted to do it here last year, but I had a family emergency. But it's something that, you know, maybe next year we're going to have more information. We're going to have a lot more information about it next year. I don't know what that is though. There's an element that's really scary, but like there's no better time to be alive, and also raising children too, which is like, we live in a world where many people that are, you know, the powers that be are encouraging people to not have children, are encouraging people that we have overpopulation. But honestly, we just suck at living efficiently. I mean, we could literally house as many people as we have in the planet if we all lived in self-sustained, interdependent, permaculture-based communities with sustainable agriculture, closed-loop systems. And we're just not doing that because the powers that be want to have this top-down metered amount of electricity and energy and knowledge and resource, when, you know, we could divide the accumulated wealth of the top 0.01% amongst everybody, and everybody would be like fucking millionaires, and there would be no poverty. There's no need for poverty in this day and age. And there are countries in Europe that are doing well, and their citizens are doing well, but
UBI.
yeah, but like really UBI. Like let's allow AI to do the dumb things that none of us want to do, so that we can make art, so that we're not using AI to make stupid art flyers for our events. And like, no offense if everybody does that, but also I'm calling you out. You can hire somebody on Fiverr. If everybody uses Fiverr, like there's somebody that will make you a flyer for like $20 or $50, and it's going to be great. And you just paid a human being to do that. Hopefully they're not using AI. The little fuckers. There's a whole section now that says AI art, and I'm like, I wonder how many people are actually doing it.
I heard a cool perspective about using AI for art. It was this lady who takes DMT and she goes into those realms and takes that experience and literally like, just replicates it onto a canvas. But she's like, there's no reference photo for like pillars of diamonds.
Yeah.
So she's like, she uses AI to give her reference photos, but she doesn't copy them. She's just like, what is the anatomy of diamonds being grown around a pillar? And I'm like,
right.
That's kind of.
But like, if she's already in the DMT realm, she has the reference. She already has, like, AI is only as good as whatever human collective intelligence we have available for it. Yeah. It's not actually creating insight. And that's like the one thing the one bone I have to pick with a lot of people about AI is they're like what intuitive things have you understood from AI? And it's like, there's none of that. They don't have, that's a computer model that only has the accumulated collective human intelligence. Mm-hmm. But like we are the ones that have that connection to source, right? Like, and I think that anything that, you know, a lot of people say like you can actually communicate to God with AI. Like I saw this thing, it was like, they're like, I'm already communicating with God, like every day, every moment. Like, don't forget, like you have that connection. Like AI is subverting it. It's subverting it. And this isn't an anti-AI talk, but like it is a part of it. Yeah.
I also just have a really hard time, like in my parents' like local community, the amount of community outrage with the data centers, but none of, like I can't it's Meta building it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stop using Meta. I use it for work. We're all still using AI.
Right.
Like, what is the cost of using it to do these things? Is it really worth it? And like, how can we take ourselves out of that so that we're not feeding the system that's making the data centers?
Right. Yeah, and that's like, how do we decentralize our social experience, right? Because everybody only has so much time in the day. Maybe if we all had UBI, we could like spend more time with our blue light blockers and like a universal basic income. So like this is a proposition a lot of data companies have talked about, because it's like we're so advanced technologically that we could have automated systems with AI, like running different sectors of the economy so much that we're generating money and that people don't need to work anymore, or they only need to work a little bit, or we can distribute wealth like we should be doing. We don't need to have trillionaires.
Is that a good thing to do? 4 generations ago, people could build their own houses, raise their own food, raise their own children, educate. They had all those skills. Most people cannot read a map anymore because
Right.
part of our brain has died. And AI is killing our brains.
Yep.
Right after you, we're doing a story circle, a story drum circle, which is totally off script.
Yeah.
Just to prove that each and every one of you can create in your brain. You haven't lost it yet.
Yeah.
The next generation might.
And the ability to make that much money using AI, there's these hungry, demonic folk out there who are so hungry
Yep.
for money. And where does money come from? It's extracting resources. And so then you go to the classic thing of these other countries, third world countries, who are the people extracting these resources. And that's just going to be amplified tenfold. And then
Yeah.
we're going to be the ones experiencing universal basic income, but those people are never going to actually see that money ever, and they're going to be the ones, getting our trash. Like you go to the Dominican Republic and it's like landfill
Yep.
island.
Yeah.
It's like,
The beaches
why?
are just full. Yeah.
AI should be used to figure out how to, better take care of our, controlled pollution, or our
Right.
controlled littering.
And then also universal basic income here, seeing how we do everything else that we do here, it probably would still be another tool to keep people repressed. And things
Right.
would still be inaccessible, whether it's healthcare, food, whatever it is.
Right.
It would seem better, but it would be the same game in a different,
Yeah.
different way, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think that it's like we can use AI for something positive and something that spreads wealth. But we're still in this capitalist mindset where it's like, oh, I'm just going to use AI to get an edge on my business and exclude everybody else. And that's an extractive culture. It's not the energy around us is abundant culture. It's not that. We could be using it for that. Like we could have healthcare free. We could have housing costs free or very low, right? I mean, we could also have.
Instead, Israel gets free.
Yeah, Israel gets all of our checks. Yeah, but I wish that we lived in a world where, like, I'm blessed enough where I have a family. I support my whole family. My wife doesn't have to work, and I also work from home. So like, it's a great life, but I think everybody should have that. I mean, you used to be able to work at McDonald's and pay for a house that costs like $15,000 and support your whole family doing it, and that's why we were able to have a lot of children, right? Like, and I understand why people don't want to have kids now. Like, our population is going to start declining if things don't change, and maybe that's a good thing in some ways, but I think that a lot of people are scared, and they like, you have two people that are working 2 or 3 jobs or something like that, and they're like struggling to make ends meet. And why would you bring a kid into that world? That sounds really fucking hard. And I don't have the right answer for that, because we shouldn't be living like that. So, what we're doing now here, this is super important, having these discussions, and like you said, and in-person events, like making friends with your neighbors. even if you have disagreements, like I live around a bunch of Trumpers and I'm just like, and some like super liberal people, and I'm like, y'all are a little silly, both of you. But like we can get along, and like, you know, you could borrow my tractor, and like I'll borrow your whatever, and because at the end of the day, if there is a grid shutdown, if there is another biological warfare, if there is war on U.S. soil, all you have is the people around you. All you have is the people around you. There are cool things like there's an app called BitChat. It looks like BitChat, but it's BitChat, and it's an alternative communication app you can use on your phone that uses Bluetooth. So if you have enough, and you don't even have to have everybody on BitChat, but like if you have a Bluetooth speaker and they have a Bluetooth speaker, and you can literally hop along the Bluetooth signals to somebody like miles away. But you have it, it'd be better for a city. Like I go on BitChat, there's nobody around me because I have 5 people on my road. So, but like for a city, if you need to like talk to somebody across the way and everybody has their Bluetooth speaker on, that's a cool thing that Jack Dorsey invented. He was the founder of Twitter before it was X, and he's pretty cool. Like he wants to bring back. He has like another thing. You remember the Vines or whatever? What was it? It was like short videos. Before short videos were cool. He wanted to have something. It was a new social media platform. That's no AI, and there's starting to be more things like that. Like LinkedIn has a button where it says like, I think this is AI slop, and you can like flag something like that. So I think there's this pushback too of this human element. One other thing that's interesting with Instagram's algorithm was that earlier this year, they changed everything because engagement was really low overall. So like they changed their algorithm, like what gets you views and what gets you put in front of people. And if last year, and I don't know for how long, but it was that you just had to have a video, like the more videos you post, the more views you get. So what do people do? Crank out AI shit, like AI slop. And then engagement went down because people don't like AI slop. Oh, wait, you know what? Let's change the algorithm. How will we do it this way? All right, this is what they changed it to. The things that you like, you get to see more of that. How about that? Right? That's literally what they changed. Wow, that makes so much sense. The things that you view all the time, we're going to put that in front of your face. And that means that all the shitty AI slop content gets lower and lower views. So it encourages content creators to actually make genuine content. Wow, what a concept.
And that doesn't exist on Instagram?
No, it does now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's still AI slop.
Yeah, I don't see AI slop.
What? You don't?
Not really.
I don't anymore. Yeah, you can also reset your algorithm. So like if you want a clean break, you're sick of seeing all this crap again. Yeah.
You can ban words.
Yeah.
In the settings too, so you can like put Trump and you're just
No Trump. Yeah.
no Trump. Which
Yep.
is, yeah, nice.
That's nice. You don't want to have rage.
Or Biden or something.
All of them. Yeah. You were gonna say something?
I have a friend. This is one of those things where it's like maybe a year later we'll have more information. We don't have more information later. But I have a friend who is in the midst of creating a new social platform
Cool.
for us that is decentralizing all of the slop.
Yeah. What's it called?
I'm trying to remember it right now, and I'm like, I want to text him if I can figure it out. Maybe I do that. Maybe I text him now.
Text them. We'll see. See if we can get an answer.
Yeah.
And this brings up a really good point because like
He's like doing it.
anybody can actually do that. And that's the beauty of modern technology now is like I could have a Strawberry Pi network that's decentralized on a solar powered bank that literally is like completely off grid. No matter what happens, I have my, although I don't know what happens if all the satellites go down. Maybe we go back to ham radio. I don't know. What are you gonna say? Ham radio is making a comeback. It is.
So the next session
Analog.
we're doing is gonna answer that because we can actually talk. We're gonna go all through the storytelling and I'm gonna talk about personal stories. I wanna make sure there's enough time so when we're done, we're sharing with each other and I'm not around.
Yeah. What time is it? Oh, 1:30. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. We'll wrap it up because there's no conclusion to this, right? It's an ongoing discussion, and I think we made a lot of headway. Does anybody have like any short things that they want to say to conclude?
I just want to say political pressure matters. It doesn't always work. I'm sorry it's not working in your situation. But there's a lot of evidence of it mattering. Vote matters. Even if it doesn't, maybe it does. Somebody who's fixed things before and has seen how the fix goes in, it's a lot harder to fix when you have to fix more instances.
Yeah.
Your vote count. I know that's only a little bit, but
Yeah, no, I think it is important. Some people say don't vote, and I was like that for a while, but now I'm kind of like, whatever, I'll throw a vote at somebody I think is not terrible, but also local politics. Local politics, local politics are super important, and we're finding that out with the AI, shit that's going on.
As far as your Trumper neighbors too, like in local politics, I feel like things are rarely like so bipartisan.
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody wants the same things.
Exactly.
That's where I find it.
Yeah, I think one of the greatest things is volunteer firefighters. I like volunteer firefighters. Literally, I know it seems totally weird, but they're actually a small socialist organization. Volunteer firefighters, you think in society, we're gonna pay the people who put out fires and burning buildings. No, they want to do it for free. We're gonna give money to them, and they're gonna have a super awesome banquet hall, and they're gonna have events, and they're gonna have great fire trucks, but they don't want to get paid. And that's because they want to help people. And they're like a community hub in these rural communities, which I've always been a part of my whole life. The fire halls are always, there's shit going on. And it's bipartisan. It's I know there's all...
Feminists.
The what?
They're not very feminist.
Well, they are firemen, right? Mostly. But yeah.
Maybe that can also change.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that we should get more women in there.
Yes, so.
Anyway, we'll get...
Drums here. I want people to grab a drum.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who comes after me, so I want to have enough time.
Sure, yeah.
And there's more drums in my cheek as
I just
well.
want to say one last thing. So thank you everyone for being here and then hopefully taking this and going forward with it, because this is continuing this and bringing it to where you are in your life and sharing it in your community. This is how the change can happen. Let's keep branching it out.
Amen.
Branch it out. Yeah, keep the momentum going. Thank you, guys.